Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you how to draft this stylish crop top. Before we get started, please don't forget to give this tutorial a good thumbs up and don't forget to share. So before we get started, I am going to mark a straight line across the pattern paper. So this line is going to serve as the chest or shoulder line. And then I'm going to mark half of my armhole round, which is going to be 9 inches in my case. From that point, I'm going to square across the pattern paper. So that line is going to serve as the chest line. So going back to the shoulder line, I'm going to mark shoulder to waist, which is 16 inches. And I'm going to add like 3 inches because I want my crop top to be a little bit longer to cover, the belly. So anyway, we're going back to the shoulder line. I am going to mark half of my shoulder, which is going to be 8 inches. And then I am going to square down to that chest line. Then I have to label my line. This is the shoulder line and the other one is the chest line. So from the chest line, I'm going to mark half of my bust round circumference, subtract 1 inch. This is because we'll be using a stretch material. And also on the waist, half of your waist measurement, subtract 1 inch. Then I'm going to connect these 2 points. Now right on the side, I'm going to go ahead and add a seam allowance of around 0.5 centimeters because when we're using a stretch material, no need for us to add too much of a seam. Now moving on to the shoulder line, I'm just going to mark 1 inch from the shoulder line. And then I am going to mark 3.5 inches, which is going to be the neck width. Then connect the 2 points to create a shoulder slope. Now I'm going to go ahead now and mark a center point on the armhole line. So in order to create an armhole, I'm going to go ahead on that point there and mark 1.5 inch, and that is going to be the sleeve length or sleeve width. On that center point of the armhole, I'm going to go in by 3 inches, then mark the line to create an armhole. Now from this point, now I'm just going to create a neck depth, which is going to be 2 inches. You can go down as 3 inches. So I decided to first mark 2 inches and then connect the 2 points to create the neck opening. Now I'm going to first trace the side and also the shoulder line so that I can trace the other half of the front pattern. So this is still the front part of the pattern because the other side is different from the left side is different from the right side. I'm just going to highlight the center line. So I'm going to go ahead now and implement from that center point. I'm going to mark my neck width, which is 3.5 inches. And then I am going to mark 1 inch from the shoulder line just to create a shoulder slope. And then from here now, I'm going to mark 1.5 inch, which is the same thing that I did on the right side of the front pattern. So from that point there now, we need to connect it on that center line, right? I'm just going to highlight the center line here. So from the center line, from the chest line, I'm going to move up by around 2.5 inches, okay, from that point. And then I am going to connect it using my curved ruler. I'm going to connect these 2 points. Now at this point, you can choose to go a bit in. So right on the chest line, I'm going to drop this by, I prefer half of an inch, okay, half of an inch so that it doesn't expose your bust. So I prefer half an inch. I went down by 1 inch here, but half an inch will do. So to correct this sharpness right on the center, you just want to blend in the points so that it doesn't become too sharp. Then we are done drafting the front pattern. Now I'm just going to extend the front neckline, okay, to the other side or to the left side of our pattern. And our pattern is complete. This pattern, we're going to use it for both the back and the front. So now it's time for us to go ahead and cut out on fabric, and I'm going to be using a stretcher material. So I went ahead, guys, and over here I'm using my fold over elastic, which is a black color, and I've already cut out my two panel pieces, the front and the back, and as you can see, it is a stretch material. So I'm going to go ahead and sew the side seam, the shoulder, both of the shoulders, and I'm going to be using a serger. So guys, I went ahead and I lowered my neckline only on the front side. Just lowered it by half of an inch because I saw it was a bit high. So once I'm done sewing the sides and lowering my neckline, I'm going to turn this top right side. I'm really loving the way it looks so far. So the next thing that we need to do is to attach our fold over elastic, and I'm going to do that around the neckline, including the armhole. So guys, when I sew this elastic, please make sure that you do not pull the fabric, only the fold over elastic. And there we go, guys. I did sew the fold over elastic around. The next thing that we need to do is to hem the bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and fold half of an inch first and then fold another half an inch. And there we go, guys. This is our beautiful crop top. I hope you will enjoy making this project as much as I did. As for me, see you on the next one.